I become a better songwriter, and as I travel and meet new people, I become a better lyricist and a better poet. So it's all just combined into one.
Fantastic. You've got your guitar with you. How long did it take you to learn that? And is it the only instrument that you play?
Oh, I'm still learning. It's been 30 years. Yeah. Well, I used to play the piano till, as a sound engineer, I recorded a pianist from Disney. And after that, I never played piano again because it was so good. I'm like, oh no.
That's how I feel when I'm near my partner. She can play the piano, keyboard, and that, and I'm just like, there's no way I'm gonna even try and take it up. Like, I'm just gonna look. Whoop.
Well, that's why I chose sound engineering, because I could plug the cables in. I couldn't play really well, but I could plug the cables in. I could mix the sound really well, you know. But I had to learn the guitar because I love playing the guitar and I love singing. So both instruments go together. But singing is what took me the most time to develop, because it's really not fun developing your voice after puberty. If you start really early, then it's easy. But if you start in your late teens, then singing becomes really hard. Yeah, it's a hard instrument to tame.
But really don't think not to start. Just
you gotta persist, and you gotta learn how to maneuver it and how to phrase it properly. And you know, you open your ear and the throat opens up, and when the throat opens up, the ear opens up more. So it's like a cycle there as well.
Yeah. So any family back home, what do they think of, you know, the music that you're doing now? You know, your dad said go to America and study if you want to, you know. What are their thoughts now?
My dad, he just passed a couple of years ago. He loved my work. And he thought I had something special. And he was a muso himself, like listening-wise. He had a record collection. And really good collection as well. And then he would listen to the songs and he go, oh, that's good, that's not good. But my daughter just, she's 5, and on my new album she wrote a track actually that I, she was playing with the piano and I liked what she was playing, and I started writing lyrics. So we did a song. So she technically kind of produced a song on the. So I'm passing it on.
Oh, that's great.
Wow.
So, do you reckon that she's gonna follow in the footsteps of?
I hope not. It's a tough industry. It really is.
Yeah.
And if you survive it, I've survived it because I was an engineer and I saw how artists would trip out and all the drugs in the studio and everything else. You know, it comes with the stigma. It comes with its own thing. And as an engineer, I saw how lives were destroyed by being the diva. So you don't want to be a diva, you want to be a humble soul who is just a normal human being. And then if music is a gift to you, like your hearing, like your eyesight is a gift, you utilize that gift, but don't trip out. Don't ever trip out, because then you just, you know, you shorten your life as a musician.
Yeah. Goodness.
I'm just thinking some of the artists that did trip out, they're still with us, aren't they? I'm thinking about, you know, the Rolling Stones and, you know,
well, you know,
the David Bowies, they came through it.
Yeah. And, you know, it takes a toll in some way, and it stops you from, like I heard stories about Eric Clapton being on you know, on drinking and stuff. So those days when you drink and you're not making music, so you lose time. You have to practice every day. It's like every other thing, you know, you see normal wear and tear of the roads. They have to fix the roads every day. So it's the same thing. You have to work every day. You can't have a downtime. So drugs and all that brings you that downtime. And as you grow older, you have to have the drugs to be able to ride, because you're so used to that. That's why you stop riding.
Custom, All right. Well, I reckon we should probably get to the news. But we've got a couple of seconds before that has to play. But would you stick around to play?
I would love to.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right, so stick around after the news. We're going to have Mahmood Khan play One Line Down. It's coming on PBA FM 89.7. It is 8 o'clock, and here is the news.
I'm sorry I haven't let you talk.
Before your Monday mornings, 8:03 in the morning, and we're still joined in the studios by Mahmood Khan, and he's here to play his single, One Line Down. Now, do we want to take it away, or do you want to say anything before you play? The floor is yours, Mahmood.
Well, I'm really excited to be here, and let me, here we go.
Just...
Reading what's incorrect, done in time easily. A soul super profound might just come around. Wind of change, maybe she isn't bound. Love is laying in a jam where fortunate get found. One line down, one line down, one line down, one line down. Reading words incorrect when the melody is around. Between the sun and the loud, distances up and down. Miracles are near when you hold my hand. Vision it comes clear as the wisdom's grand. One line down, one line down, line down, line down, line down again. Ooh, one line down, line down, line down, line down again. Ooh, one line down, line down, line down, line down again. Ooh, one line down, line down, line down, line down again. I do recall of a need to be able and free. Imaginations and its oceans, we sail in valleys of bliss. Forest invades when you hold my hand. Music unfades as the magic crowns. Ooh, one line down, line down, line down, line down again. Ooh, one line down, line down, line down, line down again. Ooh, one line down, line down, line down, line down again. Ooh, one line down, line down, line down, line down again.
Woo!
Oh, thank you.
Mahmood Khan here. I'll turn that one off while you move around there, Serena. Thank you so much for that. That was great. I loved it.
Oh, thank you very much.
Serena.
It's a morning song for sure.
Definitely.
Morning show.
We've got that on record. We're just going to play that on repeat now.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Oh, can I ask
Very kind.
I guess with being Pakistan, was there ever a language barrier or a sense of identity? You've always seemed to have kept that. Did you ever feel like it was a barrier, like breaking through music, especially in the US and coming to Australia?
Huge language barrier, huge. And writing in a different language is like, oh my God. So I had to develop that as well. I had voice coaches and teachers who would tell me how to do my V's and W's properly, and things like that. Because if you're going into a new language, you want to sound good. And thank God for music is like language free, so you could practically sing in any language, but it does make it more fun when you understand it a little bit. And here and there, and in the old days they used to have those lyric books where you would go by the album and then you would also go by the lyrics.
Yes.
So to me, lyrics are an important part, but you just have to. It's all about the vowels and stuff. So as long as you get those together, I'm pretty happy. But huge barrier and getting your point across as well. So I started writing in both. I also write in my native language, which is Urdu, and in the States, I had changed the name and all my work was under a different name. I used to be called Dave Shadeen. So all the mixing records and everything used to be Dave Shadeen. And when I went out as an artist, I had to go back and rebrand myself and call myself what I was named as a child, which was Mahmood. And although it was hard for initially, because people would ask they wouldn't know how to pronounce it. But then I thought that was kind of cool. You got a name that nobody can pronounce. I thought that was nice.
You got to have a little bit of conversation before you can talk to you.
Right. And then even Mahmood, it's an Arabic name. So if you talk to an Arabic person, they'll say Mahmood because they do the khaz, But I don't do the khaz. I do the uz,
I can tell you what my mood is. It's happy.
Sorry.
Sorry.
It's amazing.
I'm a mum too, and I always get the eye rolls at home when I do stupid puns. Sorry about that.
Well,
She's a mum, but she's got the dad jokes.
Dad jokes, yeah. Can I ask also who you might look up to? Like, we were talking about the Rolling Stones and all that kind of stuff. But, I guess as an artist, you would aspire or look up to different artists who might influence you?
That's funny. Australian artist called Barry Gibb was a huge influence on my work. He was part of the BEEGEES for a long time. And I used to be around them. I loved their records. And, they were produced by this producer called Arif Mardin, who was a Turkish producer, worked for Atlantic Records back in the 70s. And he produced a lot of records like Chaka Khan and Phil Collins and the BEEGEES, and he practically gave the BEEGEES their sound. So I was a big, huge fan of Arif's work. And of course Quincy Jones, huge producer. I loved his work. I loved how they produced the records in the studios. And many other producers who I grew up with, but they never really became really big producers, but they were really there. This guy called Cedric Malone, and I produced. I worked with a guy who Louis Johnson, who was with the Johnson's Brothers. He played that bass on that Michael Jackson's Billie Jean record. The do do do. That was Louis Johnson, and I had the opportunity of working with him. I also worked with Leon Silvers, with the Silvers Brothers. These are all black funksters.
Now you're just name dropping.
Yeah. So
It's impressing me, Sharina. It's working.
Well, you don't know any of the names. That's the beauty of it. But because these are the producers behind the scenes who were never up front, But I'm not an artist follower. Like even when I was little, when I had this record collection that I talked about, I used to look at the back of the record, and if the artist had written the songs, that was a different pile. I only used to listen to the records that were written by the artist who was singing. I never liked people who sang other people's work. And I guess that's why I'm a singer-songwriter,
Absolutely.
Excellent. All right. Well, Sharon, do you have any more? Sorry, I think I cut you off there.
No, that's okay. Yeah. I guess being different to a lyricist to being a singer. My old daughter's guitar teacher thinks he's a lyricist more than, I guess a songwriter or a singer as such, because his vocals aren't perfect, but he loves to write music and just does it for the enjoyment. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's that balance that you were talking about.
Well, the love affair, if you really want to get down to it.
Hopefully your wife's not listening.
The love affair is with the voice. So I loved listening to my own voice recorded. As a child, it was never recorded, but I could hear it. But only when I went to the studio and I recorded it, I'm like, this is terrible. Oh my God. And that's when the struggle begins. You want it to sound better and better and better, and you practice to. And then in a world of arts, there's everybody's just so accomplished. You got the tenors, you got the singers, you got the female vocalists. The world is full of beautiful singers, so you feel very small. And then you work on your voice, and you work on your playing, and you work on your lyrics. But voice was the main showcase for me, and everything else was falling around the voice. And the way I sing, I can only say certain words properly, so that's why I write my own lyrics, because then I choose only the words that I can sing well. But if there was a different lyricist, then I wouldn't be able to sing all the stuff that he's given me, because I'm not good at the lyrics that he's given me or she's given me. So I'm only good at what I write. It's like a tailor-made suit for myself, and that's the individuality. That's what I promote as well. Be yourself. Just do whatever you can, and you're unique. You have a unique DNA, and it'll resonate. Hopefully, if you keep at it.
I appreciate you saying that, because when we have new trainees here, the first thing they'll say is, I don't like my voice on air. And I guess after a while you start to work on your craft, and once you start wearing headphones, you develop your radio voice. And do you know what I mean? So
you're true.
Funny thing is, as a pilot, when you go train for flying, you have flying hours, right? So as a vocalist, if you like your voice, or as a presenter, you have mic hours. We used to call them mic hours in the studio. How many hours have we recorded in front of a microphone? So when I heard that concept, I'm like, I should be recording all the time, all the time, because that's what you do. And one day you do develop that resonance where you like, I love my voice now. I really do.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the million million hours
The
perfection?
the 10,000 hours.
10,000.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's,
No,
yeah.
million. Ah.
Yeah, geez, we'll never get there. But yeah, the 10,000 hours to perfection.
Right.
Have you?
I've heard it, and there's a producer called Michael O'Marchin, who was a big follower. He did all the gospel stuff and Shania Twain and country music. And I'm not sure if he did Shania, but Amy Grant, he did Amy Grant. And I was reading about him, and he was talking about this. If you practice long enough, you become good at it. But it's just that when you're practicing and when you're nobody and nobody cares about you, how do you survive in that time? That's the trick. You just gotta believe in your heart, and you go, this is it. This is what I'm doing, and I'm jumping in, and there's no stopping me. And no matter what happens, I'm not gonna quit. And that's for everything, though. It's for pianists, it's for guitar players, it's for vocalists, it's for presenters, it's for doctors, it's for researchers. It goes for everybody. You know, you gotta keep at it.
Yeah, there's only one thing worse in life, and that's regret.
That's true, and as you get older, those regret mountains, man, they become mountains, and they come at you, because they're not silent.
No. And as you the years tick over, only talking from experience now, there's a big age difference between Frenchie and myself. And, you know, you kind of think, no, I should be doing that now. I'm going to stop doing that. I'm going to try that.
Right.
Yeah, because they tick over quite quickly now.
That's true. And if you, and those, the voices of regrets become louder. The less you work on yourself, the louder those voices get. And you become kind of, you know, you're not the same person anymore. You're on the edge all the time, or you're cranky and stuff. So this keeps you grounded too if you work on your craft and whatever pleases you. It could be anything. You know?
Yeah. I feel like we're speaking to the Gandhi of music.
Oh,
not Mahmood Khan.
Gandhi. Mahmood Gandhi Khan. My new Australian name.
I feel like I'm sitting here just taking in knowledge.
I know.
This is, I don't want you to leave.
Oh, great.
I can't even remember the song you played. Do you have another one? Do you want?
I do actually.
Do you? Yeah.
I
before
do.
we head off
You're right. So
Put you on
should I
the spot
do
here.
Like the
Yeah.
River? So I'll do Like the River, which
Sure.
is it's an important song in my career.
All right then. This is the one that got to the top of the ARIA chart, was
This one went to. This is how I became an Australian.
All right.
You know, and the song, you know, songs open doors for you. Songs are like
Yes.
packets of energies for me, and they all do different things. They all have different personalities. This one opened a big Australian door for me, and the song is about waiting for your turn. You gotta patiently wait for your turn. You can't be too frustrated about. You can't get all tangled up in regrets and things like. You just be patient. Just keep on working, and you develop an escrow. There's an escrow going on somewhere out there, and as long as you're putting your savings up, I mean practicing, it's being counted. So this song is about that.
Excellent. All right. Well, take it away.
All right. Follow you every way you give me. You must stay. I hear you calling and I feel it in the unknown. A new day, bright warm sun for a new dimension. I've been working for so long. Never superstitious, I could never do no wrong. There's an opposition, I live closer to the glory. Finally I made it, found you in my life story. A new crazy love I seek in life to keep me flowing like the river. Like the river. Under the cold and dark inner life, there lies the magic of the river. Like the river. Completely a new plan. No wasting, no right, wrong. Free falling in a deeper connection. Or are we maybe looking for a final solution? For a new dimension, I've been working for so long. Never superstitious, I could never do no wrong. There's an opposition, I live closer to the glory. Finally I made it, found you in my life story. A new crazy love I seek in life to keep me flowing like the river. Like the river. Under the cold and dark inner life, there lies the magic of the giver, like the river. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mahmood.
You're welcome.
2 songs for the price of 1.
Yeah. How do we get you to just stay on?
$20
Perfect.
or lunch. I've done productions for a burger.
All right. Well, I reckon we should let you go because you've got is it more and more radio?
Yeah,
interviews to
we're
do?
going to Gulwa.
Gula? Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we're going next. In the I think in a couple hours. That's where we're going, and then
All right then.
yeah, for the next 2 days we're just doing all radio stations across Adelaide.
Excellent.
Wonderful stuff.
now-
So where are you from originally?
I've moved to Lennox Head. I live near Brisbane.
Wow.
It's really beautiful and it's warm.
My girlfriend would be so jealous right now.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's a really beautiful part of the world, and it has changed me as a songwriter as well because it's really peaceful. It's tranquil.
Taking in all the,
Yeah.
you know, the sights and the sounds and just observing.
The beautiful waters. Yeah. Although this area is beautiful as well. I haven't really seen much yet, but it feels really clean and nice.
Yeah.
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 Now, for anyone that's out there that wants to find more about you, how do we find more information about you?
They can't. This is just
can't?
one off at this radio, and that's it.
After this, you're retiring. You're done.
That's it. I'm done.
Oh.
Well, they can go to my website, mahmoodkhan.net.
Excellent.
And I'm not on Spotify. I'm not on any of the websites. I'm only on my own website.
All right then.
Yeah.
Wow, because I went to look for you and I thought, international man of mystery, I couldn't find you.
Well, you know, it's funny because I was everywhere, and then I took everything down.
Wow.
All right.
Before this tour, because it's really more about your own artist's own thing, not about websites and all these Spotifys. They're not music industry. They're just websites.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
can't rely. We just develop your own name and your own brand rather than anything else, and it should be all on your website.
Excellent.
So just quickly, with Michael by your side, you're developing a film. Is that what?
Well, we're doing a documentary called A Journey of a New Sound, and I've been shooting it since I landed in Australia. Because to me, I have no business being out here, you know. This is crazy, you know. So I started shooting, and when I came here, I came to study films. So I was shooting films, you know. So now this is an extension of all of that, recording with the symphony and doing an Australian tour. I think I've become the first artist from my part of the world to ever tour Australia on radio.
Yeah.
So this is new ground, you know.
Exactly.
So it's all gonna become part of a documentary that probably be on YouTube or something one day.
Well, please let us know, and we'll share that too. We'll get you on for a whole nother reason.
That's
Filmmaking
okay.
instead. Yeah.
That's the deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right then. Well, thank you so much for coming in, Mahmood.
Thank you.
It's been amazing having you in. I've loved your songs. I'm going to be playing them on repeat here.
Sounds
I know.
good.
Serena won't be able to
and
stop
you've
me.
got the CDs here if you want
Yes.
to give
Got
them
for a
away.
giveaway,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
And I've just appreciated you sharing your journey and I guess your spiritual self. I've got a whole different vibe apart from your music. So
Oh, that's very
yeah,
nice
very
of you. Well,
calming.
thank you for resonating to that.
Yeah. And if you do want one of the CDs, call in on 8250-3735 and we're going to get Mahmood to sign them. We'll find a pen somewhere and we'll get him to
I've got
sign.
it in the office.
Oh, you got one? Cool.
That's awesome. And shout out to Mike Chin, the
Yes.
most beautiful human being up in the
absolutely.
world. Really beautiful.
Thank
person.
you.
Yeah.
So helpful. Yeah. Thank you, Mike.
absolutely.
All right. On that note, I reckon we should get into our sponsorships, and I've also got a song lined up for you afterwards. So as you're driving around, you can listen in to the BEEGEES coming on after this.
Oh, great. Thank you.
It's Shireen and Tom and Frenchie for you Monday mornings, 23 past 8.
How awesome.
Wow.